Good morning, everyone. As I was having my time with the Lord this morning, He had laid it on me about His children. One of the big issues that His children have been having, and that is with the sin of pride. Pride is one thing that we are having a very rough time dealing with, and most of us don't even realize that we're having it. And it's getting in the way of us getting closer to Him. And pride is actually, and one way that it's hindering us getting closer to Him is it's making us think that we don't actually need to get closer to Him, or it's making us think, oh, we're good. We don't have anything deep inside that needs to be coming to the surface, that needs to be dealt with, that He needs to go, He doesn't need to really go deeper with us and stuff, and we're all good to go, and everything's hunky-dory, and I'm at complete peace, so I don't need to take this time to go deeper with Him. Things are just pretty much hunky-dory, that I'm good to go. But if you all want, and feel like you need time to get closer to the Lord, then I'll be praying for you. And things like that. And believe it or not, I've actually, maybe not in those exact words, but I have actually heard stuff like that. And I'm not, in no way am I on here to bash anybody, to cut anybody down. I know this has been just really laid on me during my time with the Lord, and our Heavenly Father had just really laid it on me to share this, to make a video and share it with y'all, to let y'all know that this, this is not a good thing. We've got to be careful, because pride comes before a fall. We've got to be very, very careful. And pride is a sin that it's one sin that is very difficult to pinpoint. It is very difficult for us to realize, for us to see, and we need to humble ourselves before our Heavenly Father and ask Him to actually bring this to our attention. And it can be very difficult to do, because especially if we have pride, because it could be, if we've got pride going on, then it could be one of those things where we just don't want to ask Him, because pride is in the way. But we must humble ourselves. And if you find it difficult for you to sit there and ask Him to do that, then maybe start off asking Him to maybe humble yourself. Just ask Him, hey, please, Father, humble me. And if you find that difficult, even that difficult, then maybe just ask Him, Father, just help me. Just ask Him to help you. Remember, all it takes is that first step. Remember, I can't remember the exact name of the father, but remember there's the story in the Bible, in the New Testament, where the father, I believe his daughter was dying, but anyways, he was asking Jesus to heal his daughter, and Jesus was talking to him about his unbelief, and he told Jesus, he said, no, I believe. And he asked him, he said, help me to overcome my unbelief. And this is a very similar situation. We can sit there, and if we've got pride in us, and no matter how much pride we got in us, of course, the more pride, the harder it is for us to come forth and ask. And we'll have to take different routes, different ways of going about it. But this is a very similar situation, and we'd have to sit there and like at the beginning, if we got a lot of pride in us, it would take baby steps. If we started out as in saying, just help me, that little bit of help me in reaching out to the Father, that little step. He knows our hearts. He knows deep down inside we really do want help, but that pride is just getting in the way. Same with this father. He wanted to believe, but the unbelief that was getting in the way. It was getting in the way, but he wanted to believe. He wanted it. He really did want it. It's the same exact situation. So we must turn to our Heavenly Father, and the time is short, brothers and sisters. The time is short, and He wants His children to reach out to Him wholeheartedly, and we must get rid of our sin. We must sit there and allow Him to go deep within us, deep, deep, deep within us, and we must take this time out in this quarantine to allow Him to do this. We've got to allow Him to do this. Because we allow Him to do this, especially in this time, in this hour that we are in. We are going to come out on the other side with so much more faith, with so much more fire in us, and it's going to be a revival like we've never seen before. And if you want to be part of it, then you've got to take that next step. You've got to take that next step, or in some cases for you, that first step. You've got to take that initial step. You've got to. We've all got to. And I speak to you about this sin of pride, because I know all too well about the sin of pride, because I personally, as I've mentioned on previous videos, that I personally have dealt with pride. Pride is not easy to deal with, and pride is one sin, like I said. It is very difficult to deal with, and it is very difficult to recognize, because pride is always getting in the way. Because you can sit there and be like, no, I'm not a prideful person. I just know what I'm talking about, or I know what I'm thinking, or I know that I'm this, or I know that I'm that. And it can be actually pride getting in the way. We've just got to be careful. Remember, pride was the first initial sin. Pride. And we just got to be careful, and pride comes before a fall. So we've got to be careful, brothers and sisters. And he just our Heavenly Father wanted me to just get on here and just make this video and just deliver this message to you all about how we've got to be careful, and we've got to go to Him. We've got to go to Him and ask Him to take this pride, to ask Him to go deep with us, deep within us, and to lay this pride at His feet. And He will take it. He will take it. Even if the first step is to simply say, please help me. He's right there, right now, waiting. All you have to do is ask. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out to watch a little old me. I know you don't have to, but you see my mug and you click on it, and I much appreciate it. Pray about everything, including everything I say. Much love. God bless.